Good morning. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, and today is the day that we leave for Alaska. We have a few things we need to get done this morning before we leave, but we plan to get out of here around 10:30 or so. I'm going to fill the water tank up to about 50% so that we can flush toilets and maybe get a drink while we're on the road. But we are staying at a full service park tonight, so water's not really a problem. Today, we'll be traveling about 4.5 hours to Ponce de Leon RV Park, just north of Pensacola, Florida. It's going to be mostly a highway ride, so it will probably be pretty boring. But we're going to stop along the way for some lunch, maybe to take a break at a rest stop, and that'll be just about it for today. The goal over the next few days is to put a lot of miles in on our way to our first major stop, which is Theodore Roosevelt National Park. So here I'm resetting the trip odometer on the Mercedes. Not quite sure which one to reset, so I'm just going to reset 2 of them that I know of. All right, here we go. Leaving home.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that thing.
Yeah, I know. It's a big bump coming down. Yeah. All right, leaving home.
Oh, we're on our way.
So this is the first rest stop just west of the 75 I-10 intersection, and they have this little Sunshine Gateway Solar Energy Center viewing platform. So we're going to check that out. So the viewing platform has these information centers where you can learn more about solar energy and the Florida Power and Light Solar Array. Here's Sonny, the solar tree, and his buddy Chirp. Never heard of the Deptford culture.
No.
500 BC to 8200.
Yeah, I know.
All right, and so this is the solar panel array. It stretches way back there.
Sure does. Way.
All right, that was a good little stop. Let's continue on to Ponce de Leon RV Park. All right, and we're off. Good little rest stop. So this was just a quick overnight stop. We had some leftover Mexican food, and that's what we had for dinner. And we turned in for a good night's sleep for another day of driving. All right, we are leaving Ponce de Leon RV Park. Here's a decent stop for a one-night stay. Combination of mostly long-term people, it looks like, with some transient spots in between. Looks like there are only a couple transient people here. You know, they have the normal showers, restrooms, laundry machines, but there are no picnic tables and no fire rings anywhere to be seen.
Nowhere.
So, anyway, cool enough for a one-night stay. Today we are heading up to what's it called? Seven
We don't know where we're going.
Yeah, somewhere. 7-something.
Oh, 7 Points.
7 Points
Campground.
Campground, just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Today is going to be probably one of our longest days. We got about 6.5 hours drive today. So we'll break it up with some rest stops as we go along.
Or anything.
All right, I think we're going through the town of Sampson right now. We still have another 22 miles before we hit our next turn. Yeah, there's a sign that says to go to Op.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we crossed into Alabama somewhere back there, but there was no sign, no indication whatsoever on this back road. I had wanted to get a picture of us crossing the state lines whenever we did, but we're not doing it today. Oh well.
It's not that windy.
I wasn't sure where the turnoff was, but that was a good thing, because it slowed me down just enough to miss this.
Results in all these problems.
Whoa. You went the wrong way. What are you doing? Jesus.
Preserve that question rather than decide that
What's
Congress,
that
for
gonna
example,
do?
could never endow
got it on
that
video.
authority.
That's exactly correct. The court does not have to rest on Article 3 because the court could say, and as we've argued, and as Justice Thomas has separately admitted,
I know you could tell that he was going down the wrong.
He was going too fast and his truck was stopped there. I don't know what he did. Alright, so we just narrowly avoided being hit head on by a tractor trailer. Yeah. Alright, we finally made it to the interstate. I'm not too crazy about those Alabama back roads. Too many weird intersections. We almost got nailed in one of them. So anyway, it's gonna be smooth sailing.
Yeah, now.
We are at a rest stop just south of Birmingham. Janetta's going to do her brunch thing. She's on a diet where she does fasting and she doesn't eat until noon, and then she can't eat anything after 6. So that's why we stopped right around noon or so for her to make her brunch. I'm gonna have a sandwich and we're gonna come out here and eat at the picnic tables. Lots of RVs here too. Maybe putting it into drive.
God would help.
Somebody's coming up on the right road. Oh. I thought he was in the lane.
Yeah. You didn't believe me, did you?
We stopped by this place called the Factory at Franklin, which is in Franklin, Tennessee. Looks like a shopping center, but we stopped for Hattie B's fried chicken. We submitted our order online, and now I'm here to pick it up.
You will arrive at your destination.
Campground.
Oh, we shouldn't talk.
Yes. Right, for their bicycle helmet?
All right, that was a long drive, but the reward at the end of the day is some Hattie B's fried chicken. There's a skunk. I have never seen a skunk that wasn't squished on the road. Good morning. Today is Friday, May 16th, and we are just outside of Nashville, Tennessee at the 7 Points Campground. As you can see, there's a nice big lake here. The guy over there getting his fish on early. And we're going to be relaxing here until about 11:30 or so. Checkout's at noon, and we only have a 3-hour and 15-minute ride to get to our next campground in Illinois. The 7 Points campground and sites are really nice. They are absolutely huge, and you get a concrete picnic table, a grill, fire ring, and what I think is a fish cleaning station. They each have long drives leading to an asphalt parking area and then a gravel area where I guess you can set up tents. Each site does have water and electric, but no sewer. There's a boat ramp and a pier out there. There are 2 comfort stations situated about halfway around the loop each. There's also a playground area with a roped off swimming area. There are dumpsters near the exit and a dump station with non-potable water. All right, we are leaving 7 Points Campground. I just have to do the obligatory dumping and we will be on our way up the road. We are dumped and now we're headed out towards Nashville and then up the road. It was a good park. The only problem is it is not Starlink friendly, and so we didn't have internet this morning and we got bored. So
all right, so we are now in Kentucky. We're not doing too well at filming crossing these state lines. So we missed Alabama. We did get Tennessee, but we missed the state line in Kentucky. The next one will be Illinois, so we'll probably have a better idea once we stop of when we're going to cross that. And maybe we'll get it. Maybe.
visit Metropolis, Illinois, the home of Superman. Next exit, if we ever get there.
Absolutely, and I'm proud of it.
Metropolis. There's no way a superhero nerd like me is going to miss that.
Is the sign? Yep, there's the sign.
Yep, there it is.
In 1 mile, exit to the right.
It's missing an O.
Illinois.
Illinois.
Well, that was a lot of fun. But now we head on to our home for the next 2 nights, the Wayne Fitzgerald State Recreation.
Friday afternoon, but it's packed back.
Good morning. Today is Saturday, May 17th, and we are in Whittington, Illinois at Wayne Fitzgerald Recreation Area. This is another Corps of Engineers park, and it is very nice. The sites are electric only, but they do have a water spigot coming in and one down at the cul-de-sac at the circle at the end of the road. So if we needed water, we could easily get water, but I filled up at our last park anyway. This park is huge and it's on a large lake. There are close to 200 campsites, so it's very spacious and they are well spread out. We are in site number 15, which is a reservation only site, and it is very close to the lake, just a short walk. As I said, the sites are very spacious. That's us. And way over there is our nearest neighbor. So we have all of this area. That's ours. Unlike the last park, this one is Starlink friendly. I just pointed to the north and there's a nice break in the trees. So we're having no problems there. Of course, you get a picnic table and another fire table, which is elevated off the ground. As I said, they all have electric, 30 amp, so there's no problem there. This morning, we are going to be having some waffles and sausage. I made waffles last weekend at home and froze the extras from the batch, and we're gonna have them this morning for breakfast. We typically only have breakfast, fully cooked breakfast, one day a week, and the rest of the days we eat cereal. So this is going to be our one day a week. I've got some sausage going on the stove, so I'm going to go in there and finish with breakfast. Jeanette and I went riding earlier, but I forgot to strap on a camera. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of the trail network that they have here without Jeanette. The trails are all pretty level and it's mostly flat, hard packed gravel, so it's very easy to ride on, especially with these fat tired electric bikes. It's a very extensive trail system, as you can see from this map. All right, now for a little stir fry for dinner. I start off by making my rice. Wash the rice a little bit, get rid of all the starches. Add the water and fire up the rice cooker. Then I prep all my vegetables. Got some broccoli, green onions, carrots, And now for the beef. I think here I'm using some flank steak, and I'll cut it against the grain. Next, I'll give it some seasoning. Got some soy sauce, some chili sauce of garlic, sesame oil, and a little bit of baking soda to help tenderize it. Stir that around a bit and let it sit. Next, I'll make the sauce. Got some water, oyster sauce, sesame oil, chili garlic sauce, and a little bit of brown sugar. Taste it. Pretty good. Next, I'll put in some cornstarch for thickening. I start off by steaming all the vegetables with a little bit of oil. And once they've steamed for a little bit, I'll stir fry them until they're nice, and then I'll stir fry the vegetables until they're semi-crisp. I'll put the vegetables aside in a container and fire up the pan again for the beef. I'll let the pan get good and hot, and then put the beef in so that it develops a nice sear. Once it's seared on one side, I'll give it a quick stir and hopefully expose the other side. Then all the vegetables go back into the pot. The sauce goes in, and then it's just a matter of letting it thicken up. And voila. We don't usually make a fire, but I don't know. I felt it today, so we got a fire going. And that's it for the first 3 days of our trip. In the next episode, we'll continue on to Theodore Roosevelt National Park. We'll see you then.